Hi, guys, and welcome to another edition of Zupo's SEO Talk and Tea. Today's conversation is should you guest post on a site if they're not going to give you a link? This is a really important conversation because guest posting and link building often has a little bit of a controversial conversation around it, and I think a lot of people can take it the wrong way, so I kind of want to jump on into that. But of course, this is Zupo's SEO Talk and Tea. We have our green tea today, which is a common player in this series. It is a green tea that has a little bit of more oomph as a green tea, a little bit more dynamic flavor. I'd say green tea generally has a very calming, mellow flavor. This one adds a little bit of more flavor to it. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on in. So when it comes to guest posting, I like to call it contributorship. I don't like calling it guest posting. I think guest posting has been used as a term that can be seen as negative SEO or black SEO now, so I don't really like using that term. So I like to call it contributorship. Regardless of what we're going to call it, the point is to build exposure and drive more links to referring domains to your website. Now there's two variations, and let's start with the first one. What happens if a site will not link back to you? Not even in the author bio. They're just not going to link to you. And if that's the case, I would say it will depend on where you're at with your SEO. If you are first starting out and you have zero exposure, you're not getting that much referring domains, you don't really have the option of kind of negotiating that link. And the hard part about guest posting and contributorship is that it's really dependent on where else you've contributed. In my experience working with clients, the more that they've been published in other publications, the easier they've had to go get accepted in other places. Now, of course, what the publication is really depends on it. So I've had a client who's been published in HubSpot, Forbes, Entrepreneur, WordStream, Social Media Examiner. They have a very easy time getting accepted anywhere. So for a client like that, I would say we do not post for a site if we don't get a link back because it's not worth the time and resources. We have to develop the content, edit it, send it to them, coordinate. It's too much to not get a link. If you're a client who's maybe a startup or a business who's just starting out their company in SEO and you have zero cachet, I'd say then you probably should have to do it. I definitely have clients who are on the flip side who don't have a writing portfolio, who haven't been published anywhere, and so for us, I don't love the saying beggars can't be choosers, but I'm going to use it here. You can't really be too nitpicky. If you get the opportunity to write for someone, even if you don't get a link, you need to build your writing portfolio because when you go to the other publications that are a little bit more valuable, they'll ask for your writing portfolio and you can show them these other pages. So I would say in that case, you should write for them even if they're not going to link back to you. Now, I want to take some time to also comment on what the most valuable places are. And the best places to post are the ones that allow for you to write a post, have an author link bio. So that's usually just in your bio, you have a link to your website, but also allow in-body links. So the more common thing I've seen with publications is you are allowed to link in your blog post to your website as long as it's not your service page, product page, homepage, or anything that's too salesy. So you can link to your blog post. So those are the best because if you can link back to blog posts and content on your own site, in addition to your author bio, that drives more links to your site, but also it can allow you to be more strategic. If you're trying to optimize certain areas of your website, you can drive the link to those blog posts about those concepts so that you can have more link equity passing through and you can be a little bit more strategic about where you're trying to get more optimization. Because when everything funnels to the home page, it's not always the best optimization. You want links going to different pages so that you can optimize certain sections because usually your home page is optimized for one keyword category and the other pages are different. If it's all going to the home page, it will all over optimize on the home page. You do want some on the other keyword you're trying to go for. So in that case, then generally for me, it falls into what is your resource availability, and then second, what is your writing portfolio? And writing portfolio takes precedence. So if you don't have any writing portfolio and they're not going to give you a link back, do it because you need to build up some writing portfolio. If you have a lot of resources and you can write, even if they're not going to give that many links or just the one author bio link, it might be worth it. But if your business is limited on how much resources it has to spend on in terms of time or money on content, developing it, editing, and coordination, and you may want to hedge towards the more valuable ones. And so what we like to do is we send out lots of pitches, get acceptances, and then we tier and prioritize which ones are the most important. And the ones that are really strict or they don't want to give us links, we'll put them later on the list and we'll get to them if we ever get to them. That's kind of how we do our digital PR and link building at Zupo. And I think it's a great way to not waste resources for our clients. There's a lot of other things they need to take care of, and this stuff does require resources. So that's kind of how I delineate between the two. So hopefully that will help clear up for you as you begin to do contributorships or guest posts, how you will determine if you're gonna, you're gonna post with someone or not. Hopefully you found that valuable. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and pour out my tea, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks, everybody.